Hi again. It's two questions sneakily pretending it's one question here. I mean, we haven't had a chance to really speak to you since you signed Thiago. I know you've spoken a lot about him, but there's one thing you keep on saying, that he brings something different. And I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more on what that difference is. And at the same time, in the celebration of having Thiago, could you just emphasise how important it is maybe for fans and journalists to sort of not forget what the midfielders you've got here already have done and, continue to do? Because I think there's been so much reaction to his 45 minutes last week. So,
if you think I have to do that, then I can do that, and no problem. So I have to tell all of you that we had a pretty good midfield before. So I thought that was clear, to be honest. But so look, I get it like it is. This time of the year, even in the COVID year, is the for some people obviously the most exciting part of the year. That you say, okay, new players coming in, everybody's talking about signings and who's coming and improving and all these kind of things. And then all of a sudden, we announced Thiago Alcantara, and that obviously that's completely normal. That then people go kind of crazy or mad with that and draw all the different pictures and stuff like this. And how could we look now? And then football is not like this. You cannot just put in a player and say, so now we are 20% better. That's just not the case. And I said it before, it's anyway difficult to improve this team. It's difficult, but it's possible. And that's what we tried. We tried it on the training pitch, and we tried it, of course, with signings. I think it's all clear that Thiago has some skills, natural skills, which made him the special player he is through all his career. And that's, of course, the technique. That's, of course, the vision. That's, of course, the passing. That's, of course, the way he can demand rhythm and all these kind of things. That's something where he's really special. But now we need to train and work and need to get used to each other. That's how it is. That the Chelsea game I said after the game, was the perfect game for it, because it was not about getting used to each other. That was now really, he could play in the center exactly in that position and switch from one side to the other, chip the ball in behind, stuff like these things which are easy for him. Games will not always be like this. And again, Thiago knows that as well. So we have to fine-tune now these kind of things, and it will take time, like it always takes time. And there will be some games where we will see maybe we are not there yet or not. I don't know, because that was the reason why he didn't play last night, because we wanted to because the boys who trained last night obviously need to recover now. And we wanted to use this session today to make a further step in the right direction in training, that we really work on some things. So that was the reason. But it will take time, or it usually takes time. But we'll see how long. But how I said, the start was really good. And once again, I loved my midfield already before. So and all the players who were there in these positions and did the hardest work ever to make this team successful. So it's a tough task to be part of this.
Okay. Last three questions. Paul, followed by Dave Maddock, followed by Andy Hunter. Paul first.
Yeah, and we saw with the way Chelsea played last week that they were maybe a bit more cautious against you. And we've seen that with other teams, possibly Arsenal as well. Liverpool always seemed to have played on the front foot since you came in. Why is that non-negotiable for you in a way that it maybe isn't for other coaches?
Not sure if it's non-negotiable. Sorry, I try to speak English. So we have we have an identity, and we stick to that. That's true. But we do different things in the game as well. So that other teams adapt to us, I think is normal. We do that as well to other teams, just in a different way. I know that Chelsea defends against us different than they do against a lot of other teams. That could be because of the results we had in the last few games. But usually within possession, they do what they want to do. To be honest, defending is they adapt to us. You could see it how they try to react to our fullbacks, stuff like this. That's clear. And it's just the way Frank sets up against us. And we how I said, we adapt as well, not so much system-wise, that we do a lot of stuff, but in different positions. We try to make sure that the other team cannot do exactly what they want. So we think we have a wide range in the way we play, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's obvious, but intensity is always part of it. There's absolutely no reason for not being intense. And actually, we think for us, no chance to be successful. There's no other chance for us to be successful. We cannot just want to play like another team and save some energy in this or that moment. We have to do what we have to do on a high intensity. And I'm pretty sure the boys would say the same, to be 100% honest. I didn't ask, to be honest as well, but I'm pretty sure they have would say the same.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Paul. And then we'll go to Dave Manick and finish with Andy. Dave.
Jurgen, just on Thiago and Jota, and maybe to a lesser extent some of the younger players, with the crazy intensity of this season, the games like literally every 3 days, you will not have time to work on sort of getting them used to systems and getting them used to your style of play. So how difficult is that, and what does that mean for them, coming into sides, given that you will need to rotate so much?
Oh, you're right. That's a challenge, of course, but it's the situation, and getting used to each other doesn't mean only that we do on the training pitch what we have to do, and especially in tactics, it's about, you can't train a lot of intense stuff in between the games, but you can work on tactic. That's possible. So not very long, but work on tactics is or positioning or stuff like this. You do a lot in meetings, you do a lot in talks, and then on the pitch as well. So that's possible. I don't know how often we can do it during a week or whatever. We will see. But it's a constant process, let me say like this. And then on the other side, our football, because I'm a pretty simple person, our football is pretty simple. So it's not rocket science, and it's not that it's not that complicated what we do. It just needs a little bit of time to get used to it. In moments, I would say, in counter press, stuff like this. It's just something, but it's possible, and it will not take ages, I would assume, but it will take time, and we will see how long. But what I said, the three new players, don't forget Costas, came in a team which worked pretty well before. So there's no rush and no need that we say, okay, if you don't play tomorrow, then we have no chance, absolutely no chance. So that's good. That's absolutely good, because that takes all the hectic out. As much as we can. I know you will bring it in anyway again, but that's something I really like, that we can bring them in the right moment, in the right situations. And then last night, it's not that when Diogo came on, I didn't stand there and explain, now you have to be exactly here or there. I wanted him to be as natural as possible, and he was. And I really like that. I saw a lot of the things which was really good in how his behavior between the lines and stuff like this, physically really strong. It's difficult to get him off the ball and all these kind of things. He knows where the goal is, so he tries to finish the situations off and all these things. So that's the first thing, like always, be yourself, and then we start working on a few things, and then hopefully you can be even better than before.
Fantastic. Final question, and Andy Hunter, bringing this to a close. Andy.
Hi, Jurgen. I know you won't go into details, but just in the final week of the transfer window, do you expect to still be looking for any opportunities that are available for Fabinho, and with Joe coming back? Do you think you're well covered sufficiently in central defence? Thanks.
Is it already the last week?
It will be by the time this is complete.
Okay. Okay. I'm shocked. So I don't expect a lot, to be honest. So the center position is, of course, you think you are well covered. You bring in, we have three absolutely top class center halves, young players in behind, Fabinho in the backhand if you want, and then all of a sudden three players are out for a few days. That's not nice, but we cannot solve that on the transfer market, to be honest, because that's just not possible, and we will not even try. I think if nothing more serious happens. So I hope we don't have to try that. But if the situation stays like it is in the moment, then no, there will nothing happen. For all the rest, I think we are in a quite good place now, squad-wise. And what will happen on the outgoing side, I have no idea. In the moment, we will see.
Thank you, guys.